Okay, we're live.
All right, we're recording. Okay, well, hello everyone. I am Deanna Parker, and I am the program manager for a couple of different programs here at IVMF. One is the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans, which this is one of those programs, and the other is a program for just women, veteran women and military spouses, called Veteran Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship. The longest titles you could imagine. That's what I am. So welcome to our second cohort of EBV-SPARK. We finished our first cohort 2 weeks ago. It was 7 weeks long, and all of you that are in this cohort are have applied to the traditional EBV program or the EBV-F program. And for those of you that don't know what that stands for, is EBV families. And so that we have a couple of there. So basically, I'll provide you just a little bit of background. We wanted to create a program, obviously in this kind of new environment we're in now due to COVID-19. We wanted to create a program that was completely virtual. We don't have anything like that in our entrepreneurship arsenal of programs, and so now we do. We knew that there was a need. The traditional EBV program requires 8 residency days in phase 2, and that can be quite difficult for some people to take off. And so there was a need even before COVID-19 happened for a program like this. Now, I will let you know, as we've been trying to communicate, and I'll introduce everybody else, is that just because you take this program, you can still take the traditional EBV program that you had signed up for when new program dates are announced. So I'll let enrollment get into that a little bit, but just wanted to give you a little bit of overview on this course. So some of you, some of these, the subjects that we're going to be speaking about might be a little bit of a review. But what we can find for those of you who kind of are a little more into your business already, have started in and are trying to, move it forward, what you should find most rewarding in this are the connections that you can make with other veteran business owners in this class, as well as the connections you can make with our subject matter experts every Wednesday during the webinars. And those will be really vital for you. For those that are still kind of in that ideation phase, what you'll find really helpful is the business fundamental videos and training and working through a feasibility analysis. Regardless of whether you've started a business already or are still in that idea phase, working through a feasibility analysis is something you may have not done with your business. And so it will be something that I would highly encourage you to work through because it's going to have you think more critically about the business that you've put together. We found it rewarding. I know that the previous class, where I'm not just saying this, we've done pre-program surveys and post-program surveys. And of those who filled out the post-program surveys so far from the first cohort, they have found, even those who are currently in business, that the feasibility analysis is pretty rewarding. It's something that not many of them had worked through, and will set you up really nice as you put together a more detailed business plan. All right, so moving on, I'd like to introduce a couple of people. First, I'd like to introduce our enrollment, a portion, I should say, of our enrollment team with Mai and Linda. So Mai, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Deanna. Let me have Linda introduce herself first because she has worked with every single person that's enrolled. And then I'll talk more about the enrollment services and how to plan for 2021.
Hey everybody, I'm Linda Nellis, and it is such a pleasure to see faces with so many familiar names. And I just want to emphasize that I'm one of 5 other enrollment service coordinators. All we want is to help you through the process And if you ever have any questions about the application process or program, please don't hesitate to reach out and call. Your applications are in good hands, and you are definitely slated for the 2021 programs, and Mai will go over that more. But thank you again for your patience through all the changes. And please, again, just feel free to email or call me if you ever have any questions or need any help with anything.
Thank you, Linda. I'm Mai. That's the easy version of the name you see on the screen. I have the privilege of managing enrollment services. All of you have submitted an application that is complete for either Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans or the EBV Families Program. Your application we will hold for the 2021 programs, just like you heard about the 2020 dates from us. And we worked with you to see what calendar dates for your calendar fit better. Then we will present your application to that particular university. So the exact same process you went through to have your application held for a university review, you're going to repeat that process with us for the 2021 calendar year. Keeping in mind, just because I like to say this now that we've learned about this from pandemic, be open to any changes that may happen. What we will do, what you can be assured of, is that we will communicate those changes to you ad nauseum. So the best thing to do is to look for those at syr.edu emails from enrollment services so that we can help you prepare. The other thing that Deanna mentioned, I want to talk about a little bit more, especially now that you're going to learn about the foundation of feasibility from Sandra. Sandra herself, I'm sure she will tell you, but I'm proud of this, that she's an alumni of ours and now participating to lead others through the entrepreneurial journey. It is a journey, right? You start from ideation, you prepare to see if it's the right program for you, and then you go on the spectrum that's the business life cycle. IBMF is very happy to bring to you the veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs and military families entrepreneurs, figuring out by talking to enrollment services, where in the spectrum are you? We'll figure that out together and give you the right program to follow at the right time. There are a couple of you we've talked to, and we sort of have a 5-year plan for you, not just for your business, but also for what you can take advantage of among the IBMF programs. So please know that we're here and committed to your success. And I wish you all the best and enjoyment and the fulfillment of participating in EBV-SPARK.
Thank you very much. Enrollment may or may not stay on. They're more than welcome to leave. I know they have a lot of other things to do, and I know Linda's needs to work on cleaning her basement. So I'm just kidding. I only made the joke because you made the joke earlier. So before I hand it off to Sandra and introduce her, I know Mai gave her a great introduction. I just wanted to give you all a couple of pointers as we move forward with our webinars. We had great engagement from the last class, and whether it was in the chat or whether it was asking live questions, but just a couple of things to keep in mind. We know that you're all in different time zones. We have people from Washington, D.C., New Orleans, Alaska, Hawaii. So a great group, which is one of the other cool things about making a completely virtual program. We've got people from all across the country. So we know you're all in different time zones. And we know that, you know, the webinars on Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 7:45 p.m. EST may not be the best time for everyone. So that's why we record them all. One thing that we try to do is allow you, there'll be a space, and Sandra will show you, where you can ask questions ahead of time to our subject matter experts. We provide their headshots and bios ahead of time in Blackboard so you can take a look and research to figure out, you know, what kind of questions you want to ask them. We get those questions answered, we record it. If you don't have time to ask questions ahead of time, you can watch the recording and ask a question, send it to myself or Sandra, and we can send it directly to the instructors. A lot of the subject matter experts that join us on Wednesdays provide their personal email and want you to reach out directly, which is awesome. Some do not. Some would rather have us facilitate it, but all are open to connecting with you and getting your questions answered. So the Wednesday webinars are really Q&A time. It's a time for you to ask questions based on that specific subject. But what we try to find are a lot of subject matter experts that are not just really savvy in one subject, but in a lot of areas of entrepreneurship, because usually we get off on little rabbit trails and there are questions they can answer about something that might not be specifically in the subject that we're talking about that week. I will promote a little bit because I'm gonna actually have to get off a little early tonight because I have another call that I have to be on. But I just wanted to promote this Wednesday, Dr. Haney, who is our executive director and founder of our institute. He's also a vice chancellor at Syracuse University. He will be joining us for the webinar. He will talk about opportunity recognition, and man, you don't want to miss out. If you can be there live, try to. If you can't, we totally understand. He knows where you've all come from. He's got a little bit of demographics on you, so he kind of knows the flavor of the class and what businesses or ideas you have. But he's really just going to talk about how he started the programs, and he started EBV. He started that program. The program was founded before the actual institute. And it's really neat. So he in and of himself is an entrepreneur. And so the messages that he shares and the knowledge that he has are going to be really invaluable. And what's really awesome is that one really great aspect of having this class versus the traditional EBV is that those who come to Syracuse University get to have Dr. Haney in person, but those who go to other universities, they get some great classes, but not all of them have the opportunity to meet and see Dr. Haney one-on-one in person. But with this class, everybody gets to meet him, which is a really cool aspect. So it's going to be awesome. And it's very hard to get it's very hard to get 15 minutes of undivided attention from Dr. Haney, and we get an hour and 15. So really excited there. With that being said, just a couple of other things. On Wednesdays, if you're joining us live, it really helps our instructors if you have your video on. We understand that you may have other things to do and other responsibilities, and that's fine. You make that decision on your own, but our instructors that are joining us will have their videos on. It's really great for engagement. Number two, just make sure you keep yourself muted throughout unless you have a question or unless there's time for question. It helps with distractions there. And you can type as much as you want in the chat. So if you can't join us on a Wednesday, just shoot us just shoot Sandra a message just to say, you know, these aren't going to work. And if the course really isn't working for you as far as timing is concerned, just send an email to me. We can work through it. Sandra's really flexible too. Sometimes we just realize that it just doesn't work at all, and we can get you into another class. But stay with us for a couple of weeks if you're struggling, or reach out to us one-on-one because we want to make sure that we're helping you succeed. Lastly, I'll share that I sent out welcome packets. For some reason, I didn't get any return to me, but I got one person who said they didn't receive theirs. So I'm looking into that. If you didn't receive a welcome packet in the mail, it was either a USPS box or USPS envelope or a FedEx box, and it had a book in it and just a couple of things printed out and a couple of little, we call them swag items, stuff we all get. Just some headphones and a little USB port thing, just as a small little gift to you to thank you for joining us. If you did not receive that box, or you did and you just want more headphones, um, just let me know. Shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat, but you should have all received an email from me already. And just go ahead and send me an email, and I will connect with you directly to see what happened with your packet, and we can get that out to you ASAP. The stuff that's in that packet is not a requirement for you to have to start the class. They're just additional resources. The book is not a requirement for your class, but we find it is a really nice additional resource for you to have and to read. A lot of our class really liked it last time. So without further ado, I will shut my mouth and I will pass it off to Sandra, who has been an awesome resource for IVMF. Her business is distance learning, really. She's been an instructor for programs for me since I started at IVMF. But as Mai said, she's a graduate of EBV, of VWise, of EDGE, which is a cool conference we'll tell you about later on in the course, and a couple of other things. She's also been a Boots to Business instructor. She's been an online instructor for our women's VWise program, and she's an instructor for our phase 1 traditional EBV program. So now she's also our EBV-SPARK instructor, one of them. So without further ado, I will hand it off to you. Thank you, Sandra.
All right, thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Mai and Linda, for joining us. Normally when I teach, I don't get to see anybody, so this is great. It's actually a little bit distracting, so I'm gonna try not to look at your faces, but I do need to get to know you because in the last class, people weren't turning on their cameras, and then sometimes they sign in with an alias, and then I don't let them in. So this time we got to see your faces, or you can post a picture of yourself, especially if other people use your computer and they change the name and we have no idea if you're really a student in the class, and we want to prevent Zoom bombing as much as possible. So as Deanna said, when I started, I actually didn't have a business. When I took my first course with IVMF, it was VWise. It was several years ago. I was a military spouse. My husband and I, we met when we were on active duty, and then I got off active duty so that we could start a family. And then when he was getting ready to retire, I had a really hard time getting a job as a military spouse. So I thought, well, I'm gonna at least start my own business so I have something to write on a resume while I'm, and I'm also a homeschooler while I'm trying to get all of my kids done with school. So what ended up happening was I had no idea that there was so much opportunity with entrepreneurship, and that's what IVMF did for me. Was it provided the training that I needed, but it also opened my eyes as to the possibilities out there. And so that's how I got started with my business. Education is my passion. I have a child with a learning disability. Oh no, where's my screen? Okay, y'all. How do I get out of this? Somebody's sharing their screen. Anyway, thank you. Let me see if I can disable that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. It's easy to touch things, especially as you're on your phone. And I've done that too. So that's how I ended up starting my company. I actually didn't know how to design e-learning to begin with. So that's a secret, but I won seed capital twice, and that's how I was able to start a technology company. So anything is possible. I'm really hoping to see a lot of success stories come out of this classroom. And yeah, so somebody can replace me on that Boots to Business commercial overseas. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna show you my screen and talk about the assignments as well as the Blackboard classroom. So let me go ahead and start this. And please also, if you have any questions, type them out in the chat room. Okay, Deanna will be helping me monitor those, and I'll go over them as we go through this webinar, okay? All right, so can you all see my screen? All right, super. Let me see if I can find the chat. All right. My kids are all downstairs, but yeah, they're usually the ones that are drawing on my screen because I do teach these classes all the way from preschool through high school, through 12th grade. So what we're gonna do is go through some of the course documents. To find these documents, they should have been when Deanna sent you the first email, they were all hyperlinked. And so once you're actually in Blackboard, and I will have to back up and say something about when you log in, it's under here, under course documents. So let me go ahead and write on my screen, because the hard thing about e-learning is that people tend to drift off if you're not constantly moving things around. So under course documents, if you open that up, you'll be able to find everything that you need. So what we are working with right now is, it's down here somewhere, excuse me. It is the Blackboard guide. Okay, so if you don't have these, just download them. The Blackboard, this is what you will do your assignments on. There's an Adobe version as well as Microsoft Word. I prefer Microsoft Word, and I'll show you why later. And somebody asked me about a chart that shows everything in a snapshot view, and it is right here under the course schedule, okay? So these 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the 4 things that we're gonna go over right now. Let me go ahead and erase that. So, all right, I'm actually gonna back up a little bit. So when you get to Blackboard, it's not showing this. I hope it doesn't log me out, because this is, when you get to Blackboard, make sure, I know most of you have already signed in, but there's always a few who are gonna be watching this, and they need to see it. Always click on other Blackboard user, and once you do that, it should bring you to this screen here. Okay. There. And then you can put in your username and password. And once you log in, it should bring up this first screen here. Let me see if this will even work. Okay, I know somebody else emailed me this, and I haven't had time to respond to this question. So once you get to this screen, you can get to the actual course in a couple of different ways. So if you just scroll down, and you won't see all of this, this is more of for me. We are EBV-SPARK number 2. All you need to do is just click on that hyperlink, and it'll bring you to the first page of the course. So once you're here under announcements, notice how it won't let you expand this toolbar. You almost kind of have to go back. There's different ways to do it. Sometimes it's just easier to go to courses and then find EBV-SPARK number 2. Once you're in this screen, I'm going to collapse this. This left toolbar is what you need, okay? So all you have to do is take your mouse and hover, and then expand the arrow, and this is what will actually bring you to all of the different weeks, okay? So it's easier if you find the assignments under each week, and as you open them up, as you click on them, it's gonna open it up, and then it's gonna tell you exactly, it's gonna walk you through each day's assignments. Okay, and then we downloaded the course documents from here, and there's some other things that I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but let's go ahead and go through the first week, okay? And then, because then the assignments will make some sense. All right, here we go. So once you get to week 1, okay, most of you have signed in already, and you've posted your discussion, so that's great. Thank you for doing that. I'm gonna go back to the course documents here in a little bit, but if you haven't had time to actually download them, they are under each week's assignments. So this one is the PDF. I know that somebody asked me about accommodations for some of the files. So let me backtrack. Here under the A where it says alternative formats, if you need this, okay, then you can get the audio version as well as the Beeline reader here. This is for on-screen reading. There's another app that magnifies the book if you need that, okay? And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just want to make sure that you knew that this was available to you just in case, all right? So here's the new venture feasibility analysis tool. That's what we're going to be working on throughout the next 7 weeks, okay? Do take the time to work on it, to do the research. We're just doing an abbreviated version of it during this course, but when you actually go through the EBV course, you're going to be putting a lot more effort into it, especially with the research, okay? So there's very little reading in this course. Everything is a video, so make sure that you watch the videos before the Wednesday webinars, because then you'll be able to ask some informed questions from the subject matter experts. So basically what they've done is they've taken this course and they're delivering all these subject matter experts to you, because normally you would be going there to your residency course, which really is just a phenomenal experience. But since you won't get that, you still at least get the benefit of talking to these experts, all right? When you actually finish your assignment, and even if you can't finish it, do the best you can and just turn it in to me. There's a couple different ways to turn it in. You have the option to either write it, okay? If you don't have Microsoft Word or PDF, you know, some sort of PDF that you can comment in, then just type in your submission right here, okay? Otherwise, if you want the feedback, if you want to keep it, because I do put a lot of feedback on your assignments, if you put the effort into it, then just upload it here. The best way to get it to me is as a Word document or as a PDF. I've been using Microsoft Word for years. I'm basically an editor, and that's how I prefer to give you any constructive feedback on whatever you're turning in, okay? So, and I'm sorry, I forgot the most important part of this. When you're turning in your assignments, especially the feasibility analysis tool, make sure you click submit, okay? And then I'll get a notification. It'll show up under my grade center, and then I'll be able to grade it, give you full credit, and then return it to you if you wanted it, if you want the feedback. No worries if you don't either. Okay, the other assignment that you have each week is the discussion board. So there's two ways to access that. So again, it's always at the bottom of the screen, and you just click on it, or you can, this is the fastest way to do it, is to just go to the left toolbar, and then it'll bring up everything all at once, okay? If this overwhelms you, just go to each week. For me, I need to be able to see where everybody's posting. If you want the reply, if you're tracking to see who's replying to you, you'll see it right here, okay? And there's ways to subscribe to either the entire forum, which I don't recommend, or just to an individual thread. And I'll go through that here in a little bit. Okay, so once you've done that, okay, let's go through that right now. It won't work in the I Made It forum, but it will work in the in these individual forums. So for those of you who haven't had a chance yet to post your discussion, let me backtrack. Okay, let me just backtrack one bit. It's under create a thread right here. Okay, I know that under my forum and the I Made It forum, a lot of people are replying to me. I haven't had a chance to say anything yet. Make sure you click this button and create your own thread for two reasons. One, it'll show up in my notifications under the Grade Center, and that way I can give you credit for it. And two, because it'll allow your classmates to find you a lot easier, especially if you're in similar industries. You definitely want to connect, and I will be connecting you with your classmates if I see some overlapping synergies, okay, because you all should be working together in some capacity. All right. Okay, so does somebody have a question? All right, it's okay, I will get to it. So let's go back to the create a thread. Once you've done that, once you've clicked on the button, make sure you put a title on here. So something catchy so that you can basically try and attract the people that are in your audience or in a similar audience, and then type in your message here. Most people, just so you know, most people want to read something short. Well, most of your classmates. So I wouldn't attach a file. I would just write your post within this actual box, and then you can click submit. You can also save it. So if you're in here, you're looking to see what other people are writing just to get some ideas, and then you want to go ahead and write something, you can save the draft. But once you submit it, you can still edit it or delete it, okay? So it's pretty self-explanatory, and it's intuitive. So most of you should not have a problem with this. But just so you know, because there was one class where one of the students wrote something, her business partner did not want her sharing that, and she didn't have the ability to delete it. So I deleted it for her, but it is enabled so that you can delete a post if you need to, okay? If you're applying for a patent, a trade secret, please don't share that kind of information with us, all right? Okay, and every class somebody is doing that. So I just wanted to make sure you are aware of that. Okay, one more thing that I forgot to cover. Once you are actually reading these and just replying to at least 2 of your classmates in each of the forums, if you want to subscribe to certain threads, it's right here, okay, the little mailbox, and then that way you can get notifications if when somebody replies to you. Okay, you'll see more of this as we go on further in the course, because at that point people see who they want to connect with. Okay, and that's the value of this course. All right, so those are the main things for the submissions. Once I start actually giving you feedback or grading your assignments, like one of the different discussion forums, under my grades, which is right up here, then you'll be able to see your grade as well as any feedback that I've given you. You should be able at that point to download the file that I have marked up and be able to save it for future reference. Okay, so I hope that part at least makes sense. So let's go ahead and go through each of these documents just as a really quick review. So if you have a question about Blackboard and I can't get back to you right away, and I'm the one that you should be asking, unless it's you just can't log in or something else is going on, then that question would go to Jim. Use your Blackboard guide. Okay, so it'll walk you through step by step. It's also hyperlinked just in case you can't get on or something. Blackboard does tend to work best with either Chrome or Firefox. So if you can use those 2 browsers, okay, you shouldn't have any problems. I wouldn't even try to use Internet Explorer just because that's so old. All right, and then I think the other question most people have is just accessing the course content, but it's really self-explanatory. I mean, if you just go, most of you have taken online courses, if you just go and play with all the buttons, you'll figure it out. The left side toolbar really helps you, is designed for access within the course. What I didn't go over is the right side, the right toolbar, which is more for the global settings, okay? But we are gonna go ahead and get back to that. All right, let me go ahead and finish going through this. A lot of this is self-explanatory, so I'm not gonna go over it too much, but just be aware if you can't get to me right away, or if I'm not answering you right away, this will answer your questions about how Blackboard is set up, okay? Because this is a super short and quick orientation. Let's go back to Moodle. I'm sorry, Blackboard. We've been using Moodle for years, and sometimes, and it's not just me because I've caught other people doing it, some of us keep referring to the classroom as Moodle. So when you click on your name, it'll bring down this toolbar. So again, this is for the global settings, and you can access the course here too. Just really quickly, the little box will show you all of the new posts. It's gonna show you a lot of things. There is a calendar feature right here. So if you're super visual, need to see everything at once, this will give you the snapshot view. You can even click on this calendar link and it'll populate into whatever calendar program you're using, okay? Gmail or Google or Outlook or anything else. All you have to do is just copy it and then paste it into that program. So that's the calendar for this course. And then there's a few other notifications. If there's a new announcement, it'll tell you in here, okay? Under the little clock. I don't use a tool setting too much, but under the actual settings, this is where you're going to update both your picture as well as any other information that you want to put in here, okay? So this isn't the avatar one. I would just play around with these. It's all under personal information. And I think, yeah, for your avatar, it's under personalize my settings. This is a square 150 by 150. So if you need a photo editor, Canva is a free program. You can use, there's so many out there. There should be something on your computer, and then you can edit your photos so that it is the right size and it'll show up correctly. Okay, because some people have problems with this. All right. Are there any questions so far? Okay, good. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to the documents. So this was the Blackboard guide, okay, just as a really quick review. Here's the actual syllabus. So if you're working offline, especially if you're traveling, it's easiest to just print this out, and then it'll give you all of the objectives for every week. The only issue is that you really do need to have access to the internet to be able to watch the videos. But as long as you can do that before Wednesday, you should be able to fill in, you should be able to answer the questions for the assignments, okay? So this part is just the written syllabus with some of the links that you're gonna need for the course. For the overall snapshot view of what's due, okay, it's this course schedule. Okay, so it really depends on how you learn best and how you process information. Use whatever is the easiest for you. But just as a general overview, the videos are due by Wednesday, and then by Friday, all of the assignments, the feasibility analysis, as well as the questions for the discussion forums. And just as a really quick review for the discussion forums, just reply to at least 2 of your classmates in every forum except for the I Made It forum, because that's where you want to meet everybody. You just never know what relationships will come out of these courses. We've had graduates who have collaborated together and basically won $25 million contracts. So hopefully it'll be some of you in this course too. Okay, so let's talk about the new venture feasibility analysis tool. It is a tool. It doesn't have to be completely filled out. It really depends on where you are at with your venture. If you're trying to fill this out for more than one venture, you can do that. It's going to be a little bit more work. So as you go through the course, just figure out which one you want to focus on, either your nonprofit or your for-profit, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of work to run even one entity, let alone 2. So if this is all new and you're in that ideation phase and you're struggling, just reach out to me and I can guide you through this process. If you've been in business for a while and you can fill this out like really quickly, go ahead and schedule a private Zoom session with me sometime throughout the course, and I will meet you where you are at and help you with wherever you're stuck, okay? So I've been teaching for IVMF for the past 6 years. I've worked with thousands of students. What I will do is share best practices with you, as well as other resources that students have used, or connect you with mentors, okay? So that's the benefit of this course. It's all in the networking. If you're going to fill out the PDF, just so you all can see this, all I'm doing is clicking on the comment section. I'm going to collapse this. There's a little arrow right here. If you click on that and then click on comment, it'll bring up this toolbar. And this is free, and this is how you can actually type in your answers, okay? So once you click on the T for text, just type in your answers here. And this is how you can fill this out, or you can write on it and scan it in and send it to me that way. I honestly prefer Microsoft Word because it's just easier to edit, okay? Especially if you've been doing this for a while and you really need to develop a specific marketing plan or operations. This allows me to do a lot more with the editing and to show you charts and other things like that. The easiest way I found, especially with the last class, is just fill it in. I'm going to write all over it, send it back to you, except for here, because those are just your personal goals. There's no right or wrong with this. And just save this and just keep re-uploading the same file, okay? Because it lets me see your overall progress as we go through the course. Plus, it helps me to remember what it is that you're doing, okay? So either way is fine. But I think the students had the easiest method for just turning it in by just filling in the same document and just uploading them. I hope that makes sense. Okay. I think I'm the only one on here. So if you have a question while I'm talking, just unmute your microphone and just go ahead and ask me, because this is hard to do without Deanna or anybody else here to help me with this. All right. This is going to be broken down every week, so it's not like you're going to have to fill out the entire feasibility analysis tool in one weekend. Okay, so here's the first section with just your own personal goals. Okay, it gets a lot more complicated when we start, and it's not too complicated. Okay, it's not like a real business plan. It's just an analysis to see if your concept is even feasible. And this is something that you would use even if you're already in business, if you're trying to test out new markets, new products or services. That's the purpose of a feasibility analysis tool. Okay, and then next week, actually this week, next week you'll be doing the opportunity and value proposition. If you're struggling with this, please reach out to me. I have a limited number of times when I can meet with you online on Zoom, but I will help you work through all of this, okay? Sometimes all you need is somebody with a fresh perspective to help you with your business, especially if you're in that critical stage where you're trying to grow. All right. So this is a feasibility analysis tool in a nutshell. It is pretty simplified for this course, so it shouldn't take you more than 5 hours each week to complete all of the coursework, all right? Just plan ahead and spread it out. If you feel like you can't get this, as much detail as you like into these assignments, don't worry about it. Just get it to me. If you are sick and you're struggling, we will schedule a Zoom session and I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing and you're gonna pass the course. Does that make sense? Okay, there's another, oh my goodness, there's another assignment. It's really long. Please don't feel like you have to fill it all out. It's the customer journey map. It took the last class, they were stuck on that for a while. So I don't want you to feel like you have to spend too much time on all of this stuff. Some of it you won't be able to fill out during this course. It will just take some time for you to do the market research. And my best recommendation for all of you is to go ahead and connect with your business counselors if you haven't already, and take the homework assignments to them and get their feedback too. I mean, you'll get mine, but it's pretty limited because there's only so much we can do during the course. But if you keep taking it to your mentors, your trusted mastermind groups or networks, if you have them, then that's what's going to help you. Okay. So it's 6:13 now. We have about 15 minutes and we can end early if nobody has any questions. Does anyone have any questions so far about anything, the course, the content? I know we have some familiar faces and you've been through some of the other programs before, like VWise.
Yeah, hey, I have a question.
Yes, Rich.
I put it in chat, but so I'm looking at the new venture feasibility tool Word version. Maybe it's because I'm using an iPad, but I'm trying to figure out, can I actually download that as a Word document file and then work it and upload it and so on? I don't see any option to download it.
You should be able to download it. Do you have Microsoft Word on your iPad?
Yep.
Okay, you should be able to download it and upload it again.
Okay, I'll try it on my computer too. Maybe it's the iPad that's messing up. I just want to make sure.
Okay, yeah. Okay, one of the questions is, are the mentors that you mentioned part of the program or on our own? Some of them are going to be on your own. So let me go ahead and type in some of the different agencies that you're going to be learning about. There's the SBA, the Small Business, Small Business Administration, as well as the SBDC, VBOC. There's quite a few of them. So if you're hearing this for the first time, if somebody can do me a favor and put links in the chat room, those are business counselors who are available to you for free. Okay, the government pays the SBA, and I think some of those resources are allocated at the state level on down, but they're designed to help you either launch or grow your venture. So there's a lot of free resources out there, and they will provide that individual counseling that you need to get your idea off the ground.
If you watch that first 30-something minute video, it has a lot of that in there, which was pretty helpful.
Yes, thank you. Also, there's a site, I think it's the SBA, but if you click on it, it brings up a map of the entire United States, and then it'll show you where your local office is. My SBDC counselors were just instrumental in helping me get my business off the ground because it was just a concept. I couldn't get a job. I didn't have any other choice. My husband was still active duty. I needed a portable career. So they did everything from looking up my name on the USPTO to make sure nobody had taken it. And then I got other got other resources through IVMF. I got my two federal trademarks for free. I just had to pay the filing fees. Okay. And then, yeah, and you guys will learn more about that later. I've saved thousands of dollars because of the resources through IVMF. Okay. That's something that you have to look forward to once you graduate. And I'm not sure what you will get through EBV-SPARK, but when you do go through EBV next year, you'll get access to even more resources. So it was so valuable for me. And I know even the ones that were already in business got so much out of it. Okay, so Wednesday session is 60 minutes. It's actually 95 minutes. So just set aside that time. We don't care if you come late, just show up. When you get a chance, find a profile, find a headshot, create a headshot of yourself, and just, if you don't want to turn on your camera, which is fine, at least now we can kind of recognize you. So I can let you into Zoom, even if you don't have your camera on, just because I'll be able to recognize your picture. The only thing that you do need to check ahead of time is make sure nobody changed your name and your profile picture on Zoom, because then we won't let you in. I felt really bad. I wouldn't let somebody in. I almost kicked him out, but he emailed me and then we figured out who he was. So anyway, that was a lesson learned. Good. So Jack put the links in for the SBA. And so this was actually the first assignment for Boots to Business, was for everybody to go and connect with a business counselor. Some are good. Some, for some, it might be new to them. Just keep connecting with as many people as you can. Everybody's good at one thing. So you'll need several mentors to help you, because there are so many different aspects to running a business. Okay, so, and it's the same if you're running a nonprofit. Sure, you have different regulations that govern that, but at the end of the day, it's how do you make money? How do you bring in income so that you can run your operations and satisfy your customers? That's what it's really all about. Okay, these are really good questions. I have not had a chance to go through all of the go through your discussions yet, as well as through that Excel spreadsheet that tells me about your businesses. How many of you are in that ideation phase? There should be like a thing where you hold up your hand. How many, or you can hold up your hand. How many of you are just trying to figure out what kind of business you're starting? Okay, good. All right, and then everybody else is already in business. All right, good. We've had graduates in every single industry, so anything is possible. And okay, so Melissa, the question was, I was just asking how many people were already in business versus how many of you are just starting and coming up with an idea. And I know, and you'll see as you go through the discussion forums, there are people with more than one business, okay, or they're using a for-profit to fund their nonprofit, and that's absolutely fine. It is, okay, and since most people are in that early startup phase, you almost need to have several things going to keep it afloat. Okay, all right, so Brian has launched, and we are going to work on your marketing plan. All it takes is that first sale to build your confidence and to keep going. All right, good. These are great comments. Okay, so this is Nick's. I'm looking. Okay, and then Marlene, you're already in business and you're getting contracts? You're in procurement? Okay. All right, hold on one second. Okay, I'm going to share my screen really quick because who was it? Was it Nick that showed us his website? Where did it go? Let me find Zoom. Oh, here it is. The Special Forces of IT. Oh, okay, super. Okay, this is a cybersecurity, right? Oh, wow. All right, very good. The more you all can share your websites, Facebook.
So yeah, I was my specialty on a team was communications and computers.
Uh-huh.
I was a Green Beret, and this is a play on, you know, I wanted to, I worked for a retirement community when I got out, and I found that working with older clientele, they were getting scammed by a lot of 1-800 tech support companies. So I wanted to bring like a personal touch to IT and tech support. And where I
Oh.
lived in Arizona, there's lots of older clientele. But starting up right now, that's kind of probably the worst time ever to start this up. So, yeah, I don't know. But getting it marketed, I've been worried about how much to invest in maybe advertising versus, you know, bang for the buck. You know, that's basically my biggest hiccup.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's talk. It's about your marketing budget's about 4%, but I guess it's really going to depend on where you put those dollars, right?
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully your referral network can help you out there.
Sure.
Good. Super. Okay. We're getting more. Okay. Daniel, are you in here now? Daniel Cardona? Huh. All right. Okay, so Daniel's here. Let me go through all of the chat. I don't want to keep everyone too long, but I want to make sure that I answer everyone's questions. Okay, so Cash is securing a location and getting licensed. Cash, can you turn on your mic and just tell us about your business really quick?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So I'm in the process of doing a personal care home, starting up a personal care home in the state of Georgia, Savannah, Georgia to be exact. Yeah. I'm purchasing a home currently and getting it qualified to meet, to pass inspection, so that I can apply and submit the package for licensing. And then I want to go forth and search for staff, and then, you know, market my home for potential clients, and then, you know, get running.
Very good. Very good. That's got to be a challenge right now with COVID.
Yeah, it's not too bad actually. The home I've secured was really perfect as far as it was ranch style. I was looking for a 4-bedroom home ranch style that where all the bedrooms was on the first floor. That was one of the requirements, and the home that I found, you know, met those conditions, but they had that it was a flip, and they didn't really renovate up to par. And so when my inspector came through, he found a lot of things that they had to go and fix. And so now they're in the process of making those fixes, or fixing whatever it is we had on our inspection list, which is kind of good because I threw in a little extra stuff for them to fix that met the qualifications, that had to meet the qualifications of a personal care home, like grab bars and the tubs and showers being slip resistant and stuff like that. So it kind of worked out for my benefit, but it's still, you know, the process of them renovating and everything and not knowing if they're going to do it right this time, you know, it's just kind of stressful.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. You're making a lot of progress. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Mickey's in the process of getting launched. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mickey. Yes, so basically I already have the website. If you click on the website, the one below, that's what I have been doing.
A tech startup. Okay.
So basically, the idea is you can think as an Uber, but you know, Uber is connect people between the driver and the, you know, the passenger. But basically, my business is more about shipping. But we connect the people from two sides. The person who need to ship something, and another side is gonna be the traveler who, you know, travel to another country. So basically, it's focused more on the person or people who want to ship some stuff to the family or friends overseas. When I was in the military, so I stationed overseas in Germany and in Korea. So basically, most likely, when they go back home in the US, so a lot of my friends ask me, hey, to carry stuff for them, right? Or maybe just buy some stuff back to them. So instead of, we do that for free, right? As a military, it's okay. You can go to the post office in base. But people outside, it's very difficult for them to ship, some stuff overseas. That's why the idea is come up with, hey, if you're gonna travel to that location or that country anyway, and you have some empty space on your luggage, you can, sell that out to someone who want to ship something and make some benefit out of it, and it's kind of like win-win for both sides.
Okay, no, this is a great business. You should see how much my mom ships to the Philippines every month.
Exactly.
So, we had a lot of students overseas for Boots to Business, and it was very challenging for them to start a business if they were not a citizen of that nation. So my hat, kudos to you. That is amazing. Okay, thank you. Okay. Sure. And yeah, I'm going as fast as I can through these messages. Very good. You all should have a really good class. So home inspection, paralegal, as well as a nonprofit. You're doing two things, Marlene? Okay, home inspections.
I've got a business started, but I'm also interested in doing paralegal studies as well as a nonprofit because I come from a rural area and, it's good to give back.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'll try and find out more about your nonprofit as I go through your assignments. During the Wednesday webinars, I will not be talking at all. I just monitor the chat room and kick people out of the waiting room. So the subject matter experts will be doing all of the speaking. If there are certain things on your assignments that you have questions with or need help with, I will be working with you basically online, either writing it out or you'll just have to meet with me either through Zoom or we do a quick phone call. Okay, good. So Daniel's doing home inspection and then, okay, David is the consulting. This is great. Okay, I do want to see Daniel's website. Oh, and then I won't keep you. You know what? It won't let me. It's not showing your website, Daniel. So, okay, I'll look at it later. Yeah, all right. Are there any final questions before we end? Any concerns about the homework assignments, getting into Blackboard, or anything else? If for any reason you feel like you need to recycle to a different course, that's absolutely fine. Just let us know, okay? The main thing is communication. Even if you get to that last week and something happens, which has happened in almost every class, Deanna is more than happy to work with you to get you into a future course. Just hang on to your homework assignments because you can reuse them and then just tweak them and send them in. If you are really, really struggling, if you are falling behind in the homework assignments, you must reach out to me. There's nothing I can do if you wait till the last week of class, because at that point, there's not a whole lot of help I can give to you, okay? So just let me know, and I'm happy to work with you on Zoom or just over the phone, and because we want to see you graduate from the course and eventually be successful, okay? There's no venture or idea that no one hasn't already started and hasn't been successful with. So the potential is out there, all right? I'm just excited because I get to see your faces. I've been teaching for IVMF for 6 years, and usually it's just me and YouTube, and I have no idea who anybody is, okay? And then I run into people at conferences and they're all smiling. I have no idea whether or not I've taught them. Okay, let me try the home inspections website one more time. Oh, this looks great. Okay, I am going to share this. Here it is. And this is from Daniel, but Jack is posting the website. Well, thank you for helping each other out. This looks great. Peace of mind through quality inspections. Oh, I have to say something about this. I love this. Okay, so when we're going through the opportunity, what is the pain, or what is the problem you're trying to solve? Figure out what your customers want. They want peace of mind, and how are you going to do it? Through quality inspections. This is perfect. All right. So whose was this? David, just put this into your feasibility analysis tool. This is great. This is exactly how it's supposed to be done. What else do you have in here? Yeah, it is very helpful for me if I can see what you're doing. Okay, so put your websites on here. If you don't have a website, and that's fine, you will get a discounted website once you graduate. And I don't know if it's from EBV-SPARK or from EBV. That's one of the graduate resources that you'll get. Then you'll have a website. But for now, if you don't have one, just use social media. It's free. I had an intern set all of mine up. You can use their analytics to figure out what your customers' pain points are. So super, that was great. Thank you. Craze Weld. And then Brian has a full spectrum security consulting for faith-based organizations. Brian, we talked about that. Well, I put that on my feedback. So we'll talk about, it's 6:32. Whoever stays on, I'm going to get back to his question. But right now, I'm going to switch it to Craze. Oh, Joshua. Okay, you're the welder. I like the play on words on here. If you have to go, don't worry, because this is being recorded. For some reason, I just can't copy this. Here we go. But I do want to do at least one thing about market segmentation, so you know what the expectations are on the assignments. These are some nice looking websites. This is great. Is this what you made? The Safe Purge Air Mover? I know you made something because I read it on one of your discussions. Okay, shop now. Copyright.
Can you hear me, Sandra?
Yeah, where are you?
Where am I?
Oh, Joshua. Okay, there you are. Yes.
Yeah, this is a tool that I've used in the industry. It's been used for a lot of years, and I was involved in a couple incidences that were pretty nasty, or resulted in huge outages. And this tool right here, if it would have been used, it would have been it could have very well avoided those situations. And I noticed that no one manufactured one. So I looked into it, and I was able to get a patent. I have a patent pending now. The patent is still, is just being filed. The non-provisional has been filed, but I've sold very minimal. I was set up to do my next move was to do some trade shows. And I had a huge deal right on the brink of happening March 22nd with a live demonstration for a big gas company, and everybody canceled on me.
Oh no.
So I'm just kind of waiting. Everybody, it seems like with this tool, it's so specific to a job that I have to get to the right person in the company in front of them, or the live demonstration itself, and I just can't get in anywhere right now because no one's letting me in.
Okay, and you can't do it online at all?
I have 3 videos that I put on YouTube that I sent out to those, I was supposed to visit that gas company in March. I sent them videos that my wife and I made. She's a digital graphic designer, and we made videos. They're on YouTube. And they said they really liked them. They appreciated the videos, but they still wanted that live demonstration to their tool team, their representation for safety tools. And as far as I was supposed to, April 22nd, I was supposed to have a trade show. I was supposed to go September 28th to Calgary, Alberta. I had a booth purchased up there at the International Pipeline Expo. It's all been postponed or canceled. So, okay. And I haven't quit my day job.
No, that's good.
So, you know, I feel like I'm just in limbo right now, just waiting for the right opportunity to get it out there.
Okay, this is fabulous. Just the amount of work to even get to this point. Let's talk more. And this part I can walk you through because education is my thing. You just got to book a demonstration with them and send them the tool and walk them through it. Here, all you need is a camera like this. Can you see it? And that's
Yep.
how you can film yourself doing the demonstration. It's $100 on Amazon. It's called the.
Well, we have the
you do?
demonstration video.
Okay,
Yes.
but they want a live hands-on demonstration.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what you need.
they said they appreciated the video and it helped.
They want to see
but-
if it'll work on their equipment.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Which I would be more than happy. I would take off work and head out there today if they would let me, but they won't let me.
We'll talk about that more. This is excellent. Thank you for sharing this. All right. And David had to run. What time is it? Okay, I'm just going to write on his screen and talk about a few things. I forgot what I was going to talk about with this. I'm not going to get another chance to meet with you all. So let's talk about market segmentation for David. I don't think you had a chance. If you haven't had a chance to go through the discussions, start going through all of them tonight so you can meet your classmates. When we get to the market segmentation portion, it really is going to be a chart, and what you're going to do is just figure out the different segments that you're marketing to. So in Joshua's case, he's B2B, right? He's business to business, okay? And if we did this as a mind map, I'm going to put revenue drivers down here because sometimes it's easier to just skip around, because once you figure out part of this, you'll be able to fill in the rest. So his revenue drivers are the sales of the product. Because it has to be maintained, he can also do certification classes, right? This one's a big money maker for technicians. Okay, once you start getting this on the market and it takes up, like, you start taking over a majority of the share, technicians need to be certified. So here's another revenue driver for you, right? Okay, so part of your B2B strategy could be trade schools, all right? And then the gas industry. Okay, so I wouldn't be able to fill out this part, but you know who the rest of these people are. Does this make sense? So as you guys are going through each of your different revenue, this is the economic model. It's in week 4, and just reach out to me and I will work with you one-on-one, or we'll just schedule a Zoom session. You all can just sit in on each other's sessions and we can brainstorm together, because honestly sometimes it's easier when one of your classmates points something out. And this is how I've learned about different industries, was from all of you. Okay, so anyway, when we start getting into the market, this is market segmentation up here, and I'm saying this for the ones who are joining us on the replay video. This is the kind of stuff we want to see. Who are the actual segments? Okay, either list them by name, either by their niche, or the actual companies that you want to deal with. And sometimes you won't get this until you know exactly how you're going to make money, okay, because you're trying to solve those pain points. Okay, so that was just a quick down and dirty for some of the assignments that we're going to be doing. All right, it is 6:40. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you all for joining us. It was so good to see everyone. I look forward to seeing your assignments online and to seeing all of you in the discussion forums. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I am happy to work with you one-on-one, or we can just schedule a separate, like, 30-minute Zoom session during the week, and I can help you work through your assignments if that helps, okay? Please connect with one another in the chat rooms, support each other just by giving feedback, and that's the best way that you all are going to benefit from this course, all right? Okay, good to see everyone. Y'all can unmute. Yeah,
Thank you.
Microphones, yes. And say goodbye to each other. I'm going to go ahead and end this. All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.